Okay guys, I got a really cool project here. I want to show you guys and do a walk around this and just kind of explain what we're looking at. So a buddy of mine from Columbus, Ohio reached out to me and said, hey, I've got a friend that's got a couple military G-Wagons. Are you interested in doing them for him? And I was like, military G-Wagon, that sounds pretty cool. So anyways, he got a hold of me, sent me a video of it, and I thought, yeah, that sounds like it'd be pretty good time. So anyways, what you're looking at behind me, this is a Puch. This one here is a 1990.
Yeah, check this thing out. What a utilitarian truck. These things are purpose-built, unbelievable. Kind of funny when I look at those tires. Those are road tires. I think a gentleman who brought this thing in from overseas put those on just so that they wouldn't drive so bad going down the U.S. highways here. Fun little car. You can see there's no rust on this thing. As solid as can be. Everything's complete. The interior is absolutely perfect in this truck. It's got a 2.3 liter Mercedes-Benz engine, Mercedes transmission. These were built for Mercedes. The engine that's in this is the same one that's in the 190Es. You know, those cars were built to be taxis for third world countries. So unbelievable vehicle. So I'm excited to get this thing in. I think you're going to like the color that we chose for it. I think you're going to like the results and the update that we do to it. So stay tuned. If you could like and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Okay, so we got started on the 1990 G-Wagon today, tearing it all down. This is the military version. This is from Austria. It's pretty cool. It's a two-door pickup. But anyways, this truck is really cool. I think this thing's gonna be awesome. So what I'm doing is give you kind of a heads up. Turn this around. So it's 1990. You know, these are built in Austria. I believe this was for the Sweden military or something. I'm not sure where this one actually came from, but it is an automatic and it's gas, and it's also a left-hand drive, which is really cool. So if you remember right, this G-Wagon that I did, this was this color here. So these are the parts that came off that G-Wagon. I've got to weld some of this up, fix some of this. I mean, most of this stuff is just surface rust. It literally is. It's not a big deal at all. I mean, it's all real. It's solid as can be. It's just got surface rust got behind the paint. So I'm going to clean all that up. We're going to put these fenders on this truck, and I'm putting this front end from that vehicle. We did an update on it. This one here, we're not going to do an update on. We are going to be doing an update on a couple more of them that we've got coming in. This is going to be cool. It's going to have a little lift on it. It's going to have pretty wide stance tires on it. I've got some AMG wheels over there. They're going to go on it. So this truck is going to end up being a manufacturer Moon Mist white. That is a custom G-Wagon color from Mercedes. So that's what this one is going to end up being. It's going to have the bull bar on the front of it. We're going to change it out to all LED lights. Interestingly enough, this is a 24 volt system. So I got to figure out how to get around that. I'm sure I can get some a 12 volt converter for everything and put a separate fuse box in. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool to keep two batteries in there. Obviously, with a switch or a kill on it, so that way you never are stranded anywhere with a dead battery. But this truck is so awesome, man. It does not have any rust on it whatsoever. The cleanest truck. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I just can't even believe it. It's like new. You know, it's not. It's a 1990. It's dirty. It's dusty. But it is not messed up at all. I mean, it is as solid as a new one. So, runs great. This thing purrs like a kitten. So, all this is going to get painted, all new leather wrapped, everything. It's going to be really cool. Beachcomber. It's going to have a chocolate brown top, canvas top. The frame is actually sitting outside. All these jump seats are going to get reupholstered. Everything's getting powder coated. This was the cage that went in between the back seats and the pickup area, the bed area. But I don't believe that that's going to go back in. We're going to cut all those brackets and stuff off. We are going to build some sort of, you know, some sort of roll cage back here, or we're just going to probably maybe just put the frame back on and get powder coat it, put it back on, have a canvas top. You know, if this was a short wheelbase, I'd say absolutely put a roll cage back here and a couple jump seats. But I think what makes sense for this one is to just be, you know, still troop carrier style. Probably take this middle bulkhead out of the front. It makes no sense to have that. That way you can get from the front to the back if you want, while you're going down the road or whatever. You know, we'll put some new seats back here. But yeah, this thing is just uber cool, man. I just can't even believe I needed this. This is the wheels that are going to go on it. They're pretty wide. Got new center caps for them. Those will end up getting powder coated. So yeah, this is going to be a really, really fun build to go through. Every little rock chip that I found on this hood, I circled it, and then I went through and I used my Colad UV putty. This is good, I mean, it's made for rock chips or whatever. And then of course I had to go through and UV cure it with my UV lights. And now what I'm doing is I'm just going through and I'm wet sanding it. Taking a little tiny, just a little paint stick right here, and I'm going over. So what's interesting about this Colad, you can actually see all the rock chips still. They're there, absolutely there. This one actually was had a pretty decent dent. That rock must have hit it pretty hard. So you can still see them because that Colad spot putty there, it dries clear. So it kind of messes with your head a little bit, because as you're doing this, you're looking at it going, oh, it's not disappearing, it's not going away. But the funny part is you can actually rub your hand across it and you can see it, you just can't feel it. So it's I always thought that was kind of cool about that stuff. So I'll go through and just block this out. I'm using 180 just to cut it down, because another thing about that Colad is it's really, really hard. And this stuff actually, it dries super, super hard. So I'm just using a DA pad, a sticky back one that I wrapped around this paint stick. Believe it or not, these little wooden sticks, they leave a really flat surface. Now, like I said, this is 180, so I'll have to come back through and refine all these scratches. I'll probably go to 220 next, and then, or maybe 320. Yeah, isn't that cool? Like, you can see it, you just can't feel it. That was kind of neat. I use a razor blade to apply it, so that way it's super thin. And I don't try to build it up at all. I just literally run it across. And then of course I circled it, so this paint, the pencil mark actually works as kind of a guide coat. Because you know, once you sand it and the pencil mark disappears, you know you've gotten down to where it's flat. So just a little bit of advice there. Okay, so I got the truck pulled out. So I've got the 2004 front end mounted on this truck. That'd be bumpers, flares. I pulled the rear flares off. They were just clamped up. I still got the holes drilled, but I'm gonna start sanding this truck, getting it ready to spray. So what I'm doing is, I'm gonna get it all pressure washed. I'm gonna take the fenders off. I'm gonna pressure wash all of the underneath side. And there's no rust on this truck at all. So I'm gonna pressure wash it, clean it real good, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paint that all black. And then I'll mount the fenders back up. So it should be a pretty easy job today. But I do wanna get this thing washed and cleaned before I start sanding on it. The biggest reason why you wanna do that, guys, is because you wanna get the all the contaminants and any oils and stuff kind of sprayed off and cleaned off really good. And I wanna do that for the inside too. I've got everything out. I've got the dash pulled apart. This, once I get it pulled into the booth, I will just stuff everything back in the glove box. This all gets painted, color matched to the truck. It'll get clear coated and everything else. It'll be really, really pretty. So do the same thing with all of this, but you know, I just want to get it pressure washed and cleaned out really good. As you guys can see, there's absolutely no rust in this truck whatsoever. So it should clean up really good. You know, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do as far as the how in depth I'm going to go with sanding the bed. I might just be a scuff up job. I don't know yet. I really don't know what type of paint is on this truck. This truck came from Austria, obviously, and it was in the, I think, Switzerland or Sweden. I don't know where it was at, but it was in their military, and it's looked like it's been maybe brush painted or even roller painted a few times. So got some things I got to get, like this bumper here, the bumper cap. I've got to get a new one of those. Not a big deal. You can buy those. And yeah, so I think this is going to be pretty easy job to get this thing all sprayed out, to get the inside sprayed out too, so that way it'll get to have time to drain and dry. And you know, I'd really like to put this thing up on the lift and paint everything underneath of it first before I get too rambunctious. But the issue with that is I've got to, I could push a Ferrari up front. I got the Ferrari there, and I've got an E30 on the lift, so it would take some work to do, but I don't know, I may do that today, who knows. I'm getting in the booth here. I got all the inside taped off, ready to go. So I'm gonna get this thing in primer. What I'm gonna do is, I'm actually doing a Raptor lining on the floor and all the sidewalls. I'm gonna do it up to just the top of the sidewall there, where the benches go down. I'm gonna do it right up to that edge. And then all the floors and stuff, but I got all this taped up, ready to go, all sanded. This has all been pressure washed, scuffed up. All you gotta do is just wipe it down with wax and grease remover, and then I'm gonna spray it. Now what I did do is, I'm probably gonna put booties on my feet when I climb up there, so I'll take this blanket out of here. I really don't want that up there when I'm painting anyways. So, really, honestly, all the body work I had to do was on these fenders. So I'm gonna do one more quick little wet sand of these fenders, but I'm putting this thing in high build primer, and then I'll pull it out and I'll actually sand the whole truck down. I really want this thing to look nice, so I'm gonna put a nice coat of the Auto Paint HQ Super Fill on it, which will fill in all the little dings and scratches. The other thing too, this truck had been rolled, painted with a brush and touched up with a brush or with a roller or something at some point in time, numerous times actually. But you know, you got to keep in mind, like G-Wagons are notorious for rusting along this edge here. There is no rust underneath the seal, so whatever they did really protected it. But the problem is there's just a ton of texture. Now we sanded it, it's pretty smooth, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use high build, and you could see the orange peel there. I'm hoping that I can really put some heavy coats on this, and then I'll wet sand that and make that level. So That's the hope, because this paint, I don't know what they used, if it was some kind of enamel, I have no idea. But it is hard as a rock. I'm sure it's some kind of mil-spec paint that the military had. But for the most part, this truck is really, really straight. We fixed all the dings and dents. Of course, when I bring it out and do the wet sanding on it, I'll block it out, so that way I'll catch any low spots. But the biggest reason why we're doing the Raptor lining is because this here, you can see, this has been painted with a brush many, many times. We started trying to strip it, and it was a lost cause. Because you think about all the stuff that's been thrown in the back of this, these are all low spots. But if we Raptor line this will look really good. And then my buddy Drew is going to put a really nice either rubber mat down. He'll probably put a rubber mat down, and then on top of that, he's going to get some really nice carpets made for this. So this is going to be for his wife, so we're going to make this thing as nice as possible. He's putting all brand new interior. Wait until you see the color that's going to be on this. It's a pearl manufacturer moon mist white Mercedes color. It's a G-Wagon color, and these are not the wheels that are going to stay on it. He's going to put some big fat meats on it. It's going to look really, really good with the fender flares and everything else. So yeah, this is pretty nice. Painted all this up in black. I still got to do the inner fender wells, but everything's been pressure washed, so I'm going to get that mixed up now, and I'm going to go around and get all that hit, and then I'll start taping off all the wheel wells and everything else. So all right, let's get after it. So I'm going to use a satin hot rod black acrylic urethane. This is going to be for all the black bits and pieces on this G-Wagon. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing mixed up, get all this mixed up. I've never used this before, so I'm pretty excited. It is a 4:1:1. It takes a ultra glass urethane activator. It's an HQA 250, and it also takes the HQR 85 slow reducer. So I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to spray it underneath all the fender wells, everything else, and get everything covered, because everything's been pressure washed and cleaned. So I want to get all that on there first, and then what I'll do is I'll come through and I'll bag everything all the way down to the ground, so when I paint it, I don't have to come back and take any chances of getting black on any of the fresh paint that I did. Okay, so what I did was I got everything ready. So everything is ready to go. I'm getting ready to primer this. But one of the things I did was kind of cool. I got underneath the truck from front to back, and I painted everything satin black. So I used a Auto Paint HQ's hot rod black with the satin hardener or activator and reducer, and I made a huge mess right there because I dropped my PPS cup. But I crawled on my back and I painted every bit of the underneath the side of this truck from front to back, so looks really good. Painted the front end here. I mean, this stuff finishes good. So yeah, this is gonna look awesome. Okay, so I'm calling it a night. It's about 11:30 Saturday night, and of course gotta get up and go to church in the morning, and my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, so I'm gonna do some celebrating there with her. But anyways, I got this thing ready to go. I didn't get it painted or primered tonight, but I did go through and find some other spots, got it all cleaned, wiped down with wax and grease remover, got everything taped off, masked off, so that way I'm not getting anything where I don't want paint. I did get the whole underneath the side of this truck. My face is probably black. Got the whole underneath the side of this truck painted satin black. It looks great. So tomorrow, after I get done with my festivities, I'm going to come out here and get this thing primered. I'm going to get it all with high build primer. I always try to figure out the process on how I'm going to do things, and sometimes I get a little confused, I'm not going to lie. So a lot of this is new to me, so this is going to be pretty cool. We have a total of about 4 of these trucks to do. This thing's going to be absolutely magnificent when it's done. All right, well, good night. We will see you tomorrow.
Okay, so I got the primer all laid down. I went through and I just wet sanded it in the booth. It was pretty simple. Everything laid out so smooth, I really didn't have to do much to it. So I just decided, I thought it through and I said, you know what, this is going to be the best option. Went through, wet sanded it, got it all cleaned up. And then now what I'm doing is I'm putting the first white base coat. This looks like just a standard shop white. I'm sure it's got a paint code for this formula, for this paint, but it is very much just a white color. I'll put 2 coats of this on, and then where the magic happens is I'll put the mid coat on. The mid coat is a pearlescent, and so basically what that means, it almost looks like it's basically transparent, but it's got the pearlescent, all the different pearls and different colors and shades in it. That's what gives this paint the real beautiful look that it has. And then of course I'll put 2 coats of that on, and then I'll finish it up with either 2 to 3 coats of clear coat. So you're going to love the way this thing turns out. It absolutely looks amazing. One thing I will tell you is white is not a real easy color to paint. I know most people would say, oh, it hides everything, it does this and that. It also hides coverage. So that's one of the things that I've noticed with whites, especially when you're going over a fairly light primer or a sealer. It's hard to see it. That's the reason why you just got to take your time, really focus on getting coverage, because if you miss coverage now, you go to throw that pearl on, it's going to look funky. And that pearl, you got to do a drop coat and everything else to get everything to lay out good. So the last thing you want to do is have the base not laid out flat or laid out in a way that you've got perfect coverage. A lot of times I'll go through here with a light gun. After I get done spraying this, I'll turn the lights off and I'll go through with the light gun, the sunlight gun, and make sure that I got good coverage.
So this is the mid coat for this Mercedes manufacturer color. So what this is, it's literally just it's a metallic mid coat. Isn't that cool? Look at that, isn't that cool? Got like a silver. It's so neat. Go 425. So this is going to go on just like base coat does. Not really trying to wet it out or anything like that. That's not what this is for. This is just to put the pearl on, and then I'll come back with my clear and then I'll wet it out. So I'm pretty sure that's how this works. But it's a lot of work. It's like painting 2 cars. I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I can't stop because I got a certain time frame. I got to get this thing on the car. So I might get this on and then go in and rest, and then get up in the morning and clear it.
Okay, so what I'm doing here is a drop coat, orientation coat. This is pretty common with pearls, tri-coats, candies, anything like that. Anything heavy metallic, you want to make sure you don't get any type of modeling or tiger stripes. I didn't really need to do this. This Iwata sprayed this thing out nice. Everything stood up, everything flowed out correctly. This paint laid out amazing. So I didn't really need to do this, but you know what? It's a good precaution. It doesn't hurt anything. It's only going to help. It's never going to hurt.
Okay, so I'm gonna tack it down. Everything looks really good. Everything is, all the pearlescence all laid out nice. I don't see any blotchiness or anything like that. So I painted this last night about 3 in the morning is when I finally called it quits. And I just didn't have it in me to do the clear coat. So I'm going to go through, get this all wiped down, tacked off, anti-staticked, and then I'm going to get after it. I don't see any issues that I need to fix right now. Everything looks pretty dang good. This body's really straight for what it is. I'm not seeing anything that's a problem. So just want to make sure that this gets wiped off, especially all the really visible areas. That's the main thing. The inside I'm not so concerned about. I mean, it's got kind of got clear coat on it, but anyways, I'm gonna have to jump up in there and I'm gonna clear the top first. Now I'm probably gonna clear the top with like one heavy coat to get full coverage with it, and the reason being is because I don't want to have to keep climbing in and out of that bed, because I'm going to tell you, once I start clearing, that is going to get super sticky in there. So I'm going to get my clear all mixed up. I'm going to get everything all cleaned up, get the booth all cleaned up, ready to go. And then I'm going to start on the clear. And I think I should probably have that done in about 3 to 4 hours. So shouldn't be a super late night tonight, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock.
What you're seeing here is just something I always do. It's something I've always done. I always end up just taking a panel that's getting covered or whatever. Always check my clear coat gun on it just to make sure that everything looks good. Check my pressures, my pattern. That's all I'm doing. Get all the fender flares painted. Got a few little runs I got to fix. These G-Wagons are always tough around the edges. Things fall off.
But for the most part, everything looks pretty good. The only other couple runs I had was on the fenders, on the wheel wells, but it's on the edge where the fender flares go. But it's definitely a pretty color. Let me grab my sunlight. She's all white. I just got to do the Raptor lining. I didn't want to do that in the booth.
Getting ready to do something I've never done before. I've never done Raptor lining. Floorboard had been painted so many times that we, scuffed it all up and we painted it, and there was no need to clear it, so I went ahead and based it. Now I'm going to Raptor liner just the floor and the sidewalls up to the side here. And then Drew, who owns the truck, is going to eventually he's getting rubber mats made for it and carpet. So this is all going to get Raptor lined, which I think is really cool because I bought tintable Raptor liner. So how that works is you've got your 24-ounce bottle of Raptor liner. You've got use 8 ounces of hardener. Then you add your base coat. So I've got my base for this Mercedes-Benz 885 Moonlight white. This is the ground coat, and then it's got the mid coat. So what I did was I mixed them together. This is literally just pearl. This is the pearlescent, and then this is the white. But I went ahead and mixed it because when that pearlescent hits that white, it changes it from kind of a silvery, pearlish tint. So I didn't want the Raptor to just be solid white. So I mixed those two together and I mixed them in here. You do 3 ounces is what you end up putting on this. So we're going to try to get this thing sprayed. I'm just mixing it right now, and then we'll see how it happens. Hopefully it works out good. The gun is really quite interesting. It's just a siphon tube. I'm going to set it at 50 PSI. I was watching another gentleman. He was talking about how 50 PSI is what he used. Said it sprayed real well, so I'm going to do that. I don't know why, but I have a feeling this is going to be a mess. I hope it's not. Well, I'm going to see if it dries a different color, because I don't know. Seems like it's kind of cream colored. Hopefully it dries different. Okay, so we got all the pieces prepped to finish out this truck here. So got everything done yesterday, got it bed lined. I wasn't happy with the color match. It has kind of an off-white color to it, but everything gets covered with carpet and all that good stuff. Mainly this was just to cover up what was there before. I talked to Drew. He said, we're putting chocolate brown interior into this thing. It's going to look great, so just don't worry about it. So I still got to, obviously finish. I got to do cut and buff. I started on that. Got the Ferrari moved up. That's going to be the next car I get started. I'm going to get started on that like tomorrow. So I'll start stripping this thing down and getting it ready. And then in the booth, I've got all the parts and pieces. I've still got a few more on the floor there. Those are bumpers and the brush guard mounts. Those are getting painted black. But all this is getting painted body match. So we got all the pieces, the bezels, the fender flares, the rear tailgate, the hood is up there, the front bumper, brand new front bumper we got for it. So this should be a pretty exciting time today, getting all this stuff done, so that way we can start reassembling the truck. So, but anyways, we're gonna get after it, and it's gonna be I don't know, 3 or 4 hours of just going after. This is a tri-coat, so should be a lot of fun.
Video, I got all this stuff painted today. It's all dry, ready to go on. Look how pretty that is. This is the chip guard that I did for the front of the fenders. It had like a stone protection, but I ended up putting a texture that's just the front of the back wheels with the bumper. Bumper looks beautiful. Other fender flare, it's sitting out there. These are the front pieces that go hook onto the fender, go behind the bumper. Hood. I mean, this looks. I got a few little dirt nib thing. I think I had a bug land on it or something, but it'll buff right out. But it really glassed out nicely. You can see it looks really good. Just glassed out. Yeah, this is the rear tailgate. So. Yeah, it looks really good. This bumper turned out beautiful. You can definitely see the pearl in it, for sure. This is straight out of the booth, so looks absolutely beautiful. You don't have to cut and buff or do anything to these. We'll only cut and buff the sides, obviously. You can see fender, I don't have to do anything to. This, I started, wet sanding this to get it ready for polish. This back here, just anywhere I had like little dirt nibs or whatever in, gotta get polished out. This really doesn't look bad. Actually out in the sun, you can't even tell the difference, really. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but I think it's just because this is shiny, this is not. So you definitely see, it's obviously, it's a little off-white, but that's kind of to be expected. I called my buddy today that does Raptor lining. He said, yeah, it's nearly impossible to get perfect matches. But, yeah, this turned out absolutely beautiful. There's the bezels, and the grill turned out really nice too. This front end is going to look awesome. I still got to put a couple bolts in it, screws, but and get the fender flares mounted. But isn't that going to look awesome? Look how nice that grill is. Absolutely love it. Dirt on it. Thing kind of does a little bit of a color change as you look around it. It's pretty cool. Great color. I think it's looking pretty good. I got the trim pieces on the front end. I got to mount the hood. I'm going to probably buff the hood off the truck so I don't make a big mess. I've got some plugs coming for these because obviously this does not have washers. Got the bezels for those. I got plugs for these. I have no idea what these holes are for. They were in the bumper. I don't know if that's to mount fog lights. No idea. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, but you can see obviously we need the spacers for the wheels. They look stupid inbound like that. But I think that white, the grill emblem stuff looks really good. Hey, another thing too, these straps, this thing had canvas straps on it. What do you think about getting a leather belt and fastening it? I've got some rings or some rivets, some leather rivets that I can rivet it and actually put a leather strap with a buckle on it. I think that'll look a lot classier. This all turned out really nice. Cleaned up really good, painted nice. Just got a few more little pieces to put on this thing, but it has turned out pretty freaking good. I just got done, I still got to wash it yet. I just got done cutting and buffing it, but we're just working on the lights right now, getting them all wired up. Got the sequentials all hooked up. And this is all this frame that we have to make. This is not, we just mocked this up and welded it. It'll be all sanded and then we got to take this off and paint the whole frame, but this is how it's going to mount. There's holes that were up there and you can see this thing used to end about right there because it had that dog cage that went in here. So what we did is we made this extension that come out and mount that so it's all one piece. So it'll come off real easy too. Just 2 bolts. Okay, so I got the rack painted, got it all mounted. I put some white lithium grease down in the slots so you'll be able to take it off. I just got to put the bolts in here for the clamps. And then of course we got that all made and mounted. Now we connected to this up here. So to take this rack off, you just take these 2 bolts off, that's it. Take the 2 bolts off and the whole thing lifts off. Actually 3D printing these covers were broken and busted for the grommet, the grommet covers for the truck's windshield wipers. I got all this, repainted and put on and stuff, but yeah, that looked nice. It's brand new, so I'm doing one for the other side. I'm getting ready to put the wiper on. I got 2-inch wheel spacers, will be here tomorrow. Okay, so this is what we started with, guys. Now this one doesn't have the seats in it, and the reason why, because we pulled the seats out of this one to put into that one. When he dropped that truck off, he took all the interior back with him to his upholstery guy and dropped it off. So I want him to be able to enjoy this thing this weekend. So we went ahead and pulled the interior out of the second truck we're getting ready to get started on for him. So you'll see that obviously there's no interior, but man, these trucks are solid. They just don't have any issues whatsoever. I mean, everything, we're talking everything that is a normal problem with a G-Wagon is non-existent on these trucks. These things are like they've been in a time capsule just waiting to get to my shop. It's been crazy. So here's what we got. 2004 front end. He picked a manufacturer white Mercedes color that is just beautiful pearl. The pearlescent on this thing is just unbelievable. We used the bull bar off the truck, the bumpers, the bumper caps, the headlight bezels, the grill, the hood, the fenders, the fender flares, all the trim. So that's what you end up getting. It's just beautiful. I think he's gonna be super happy with it. He put bigger tires on it. We painted the wheels. I like the Steelies myself. I think they're just very fitting for this truck. The other thing we did was I made some Mercedes-Benz center caps for the wheels. What's normally on these are made by Puch for Mercedes. It's got the Puch logo on it. So we ended up making new ones for those, but let me walk around this and then I'll show you the inside. So I'll show you the interior. We went through and everything that's black on this truck, everything we've painted. So if it was black, we repainted it. I pressure washed the whole underneath side of this truck. Like I said, zero rust, and repainted everything in trim black. So the underneath side of this truck looks brand new. Every fastener to put things back together, we just replaced. Like, you know, you look down on these tracks, these are all new. These are all new. Everything's new. Now these seats and the frames and everything, those just got put in there from that truck there. So those are, you know, those have not been repainted or anything. Now the frames that I took out of this truck and sent with him when he dropped it off, those got all brand new powder coat. So they're gonna look absolutely beautiful in here. See, he replaced all the fasteners. Everything that's held on has been replaced. Really cool seating configuration. We also Raptor lined, color match Raptor lined the whole bed. Now he's going to be putting, he's going to be putting rubber mats. He's also getting carpet for this. So this will all be covered. All the panels, this panel he took back with him, the side panels, the door panels, everything's getting leather wrapped. We took the bulkhead out. There used to be a bulkhead with a cage. We took that out so that way you can have access to the front. That's pretty common. The only thing I need to do is I need to put a little piece of rubber stripping on that. So it's not a sharp edge, but I think somebody hits their shin on it or something, it might smart. So we're going to put a piece of rubber on that. But yeah, I'm kind of digging these seats. You know, these are the green military seats that were in it, but the seats are absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. We repainted all the stuff that's black. Even that mat down there was gray. We repainted all that. And I painted the top just so we could, you know, have something to drive. So tell me what you think, guys. If you would, please like and subscribe. It's going to help the channel grow and keep doing the things that I want to do for this channel. And we've got a bunch more of these coming up. They're going to be a little bit different. Obviously, some of the builds are going to be, they're going to be different colors, obviously, but we might do some different things with them just to kind of mix it up. But stay tuned to that. And I've got the 348 Ferrari that's going in the booth, and we're going to be painting that and getting that thing done. I'm going to start working on the video for that. You guys will start seeing some updates on that. So again, like and subscribe. Appreciate you. Thanks.
What'd you say? Looks pretty good up there.